Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Esther Akinsola. She's a consultant and coach for travel and tourism marketing businesses. She's the founder of Zippa Marketing, a UK-based travel marketing agency that helps travel, tourism, and hospitality business founders build simple and practical systems that increase their ROI. Welcome to the show, Esther.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
You are welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll be talking about travel marketing mastery. But before we come talk about travel marketing, let's understand a bit about you. Let's do a bit of time travel so that we know what your journey has been like. Help us understand a bit more about you so that the audience understands who they are listening to.
Yes. So I think I'm going to be particular about my journey in the travel industry and how I became this person. Right. So
Right.
last year I was a student at the London School of Journalism. Trying to finish my studies, and something was a priority for me. It was finishing well, and so I thought that it was not a requisite for graduation, but I thought now that I'm here already, let me just make the best use of it. So I thought, okay, let me go for internships, right? And for the first time in my career of over 3 years, as at that time, I had five rejections in a week. And it was not just, it wasn't because, oh, you're not good enough. It was because some were saying, oh, we need in New York. Some were saying, I can only work with people on the East Coast of the US. It wasn't something about my skill or my talent. But at that point in time, when that happened, as it has never happened to me before, I've even had to work with people in the Australian market, but I have never had to, go through that much rejection in a single week. I was sad and I knew I was going to break down. Believe it or not, I pray. So because I knew I was so sad, I was burdened, I didn't know what to do. I knew that I was too deep into it to quit. And so I prayed. It was as if after that moment I had some sort of clarity. And what I did was I changed my mindset and I began to go back to those people that said, "Oh, Esther, we can't take you because of this and this and that." I wrote a mail to each and every one of them, telling them that my skill was enough, explaining how my skill was enough and how I'm willing to go like the extra mile to make sure that whatever they give to me, I get it done. And I think after a week, one of them reached out back to me and said, "Okay, Esther, I am going to take you because of your determination." And let's say that that was my gate pass into the travel industry, right? So I worked with Go Nomad, and that gave me access to the industry. That gave me access to stakeholders within the industry because as I continue to speak with people, interview prominent people, I understood that there's a problem in this industry, and that problem was particular to me because I'm somebody that adapts easily, and the travel industry is a very volatile industry. There's election, it changes the our whole system. There's a new government in power, it changes it. There's climate change. Too many things affect this industry, and I thought, okay, I can do this. I saw a wide gap that I was willing to fill, and I thought, okay, this is it. So that moment marked the turning point for me. Right now, I'm a travel marketing coach and consultant. Just like you have introduced, I help travel agents and tour operators build simple marketing systems. I also work with founders too, because my strength is in the startup space. So what I do every day is I help people make marketing plans. Obviously, people in the travel and tourism business, and I also help them deploy those marketing plans. And another thing on a wider base is that I help these travel and tourism businesses build mutually beneficial partnerships, across the world, EMEA, Caribbean island, and most recently my work has been in North America. So I think that's a bit about me.
Absolutely. That thanks for that. Now, Esther, I want to understand. In terms of the uh, present day, you are helping travel agencies. You're coaching travel agencies and tour operators to create a tracking plan as well as marketing plan and track their business goals. how is it that you are uh, telling them? What is it that you are telling them so that people can learn from you? Now a lot of this traveling is happening because back after COVID and all, so people are getting back with their traveling. That's something called, if I understand,
Rebound.
revenge traveling or something like that.
Yes.
That is happening. So I want to understand then that amidst this, how can one tour operator or a travel agency differentiate or create business or do best marketing for themselves? Help us with that.
Okay, so first things I'd like to state that that part of my coaching business that I started, I didn't just start it because of what happened in the past. I started it because every week I was from like January till today, I talked to at least 4 to 5 tour operators and I was giving free advices and I'm like, this thing is burning me out. What can I do? And so I made a post on my Facebook. I said to people, if I were to start a coaching for you where I won't deploy marketing for you, I'll just teach you how to do it and you can stay accountable to me. Will you pay for it? And people said yes, and that was how I started it. So, first off, I'd like to say that the travel terrain in each sector differs, in each country differs. We cannot compare what the African market has to what the Middle East or the European market has, right? So, the first thing is that most travel agents and tour operators, they're used to getting people via referrals. So, the first thing is that breaking through that, there's a lot for you on social media. There's a lot that you can achieve with digital marketing. And the first step to it is don't just come to me and say, Esther, I want to do adverts. No, we can't just do adverts to you. You can get the result of an advert, but marketing is not just one thing. Marketing is a combination of some things to achieve the kind of results that you want. Right. So that's the first thing I make them understand, first of all. So when you're working with Esther, you get a whole system, not just a part of the system. And what we do is that every business has its own goals, right? They may not understand how they want to achieve it, but they have it. So sometimes I can have people say to me that, Esther, June, July is high season in my region. I want to get at least 60 people or 120 inquiries. That's a goal. And from that goal, their business vision and mission, then we begin to develop a marketing plan. But the first thing first, if somebody were not to be hiring me and they just want to do it themselves, is that they have to plan, first of all. Marketing is about planning, right? It's not something that just happens. You don't just wake up and make a content today. If you do it like that today, I doubt that you'll be able to consistently do it the whole week because you're waiting for adrenaline, and marketing is not like that.
Right, right, Esther. So, in terms of, suppose somebody is a small travel operator, a small tour operator, or a
Mm,
travel agency somewhere in any other part of the world,
mm.
how should they, make the best of in terms of the marketing tools that are available today? Obviously they cannot spend a lot of money, but they will have to do it themselves. What is
Yeah.
your expert advice on this to them?
Okay. Thank you so much. So the thing is, if you're just starting with marketing and you're a new business, my advice to you is don't do everything. See, like I used to say to some travel agents, I say that social media was made for travel. There are two platforms that work for social media and they are tested, that works for the travel industry and they are tested. It is Facebook and Instagram. Start with those two first of all, right? It wouldn't cost you anything. You just have to develop a marketing plan. And thank God we have ChatGPT, we have AI. So go to AI, put the right prompt. It will give you content ideas and begin to create content. And then another thing that you also need to know when you're just starting small, you don't have, a lot, to invest in marketing, is that you're already enough with what you have. Gather the reviews that you have, put them into text, share it with people, because marketing, the travel industry is about authenticity, right? Because sometimes I read a research somewhere and 98% of people said that before they book a travel or before they book whatever trip, 98% of them said that they look at online reviews first of all. So tap into what you already have, which is the review, good things that people are saying about you, and keep showing up, putting it out there. Another thing that is tested is cold DM. Reach out to people. You're not trying to sell to them first of all. You just want to make a connection. Hi, my name is whatever your name is, this is what I do. What do you do? Right? And people would usually respond to you when you're not trying to sell to them first. And from that, from there you can take up the conversation, introduce what you do to them, and you can just end it with, after they've responded at first, anyways, and say, if you ever need anyone, need a travel planner or a tour operator, or you have someone traveling, let me know. And you keep in touch with people. Another thing is make sure that you have your business on TripAdvisor. Yes, they'll get some money from you, but you need the visibility that they already have because they have a robust platform. Another thing is that if you're just starting out as a new business and maybe you don't have a website, please use directory. Every country have their own directory and you can go there to list your tour business. When somebody goes on Google and search for, travel and tour business in that area, they're definitely going to find you.
Right, right, Esther. Now you talk. What are the marketing trends that you see in travel, especially in that part of the world that is going to be for the industry as per your understanding?
Yes. Okay. So there are a couple of marketing trends that experts have, predicted, and there are also some that I've seen by my experience that are going to become big in the next couple of years. So I'm going to start with research. First of all, is AI. AI is on the rise. We know we can use AI for animations, for videos, for text, to anything you can think of for now. Well, aside from cooking and some other things that you need the human to do, there's AI there for you to do it. All you just have to do is make sure that you sound human, right? Because it's not enough to use AI. We know when, as an expert, I know when somebody's using AI to write their stuffs. So AI is definitely that. And then there's something they call predictive analysis, right? So we understand that if I go on Facebook and I search for a particular term, I can go on Google and find an ad on that term, and it works both ways, right? Or somebody can decide to do their advert to target me based on the keywords that I use on my profile. So businesses can also take advantage of that. Another thing is also personalization. So one of the things that travel businesses do is and this is across many regions, right? Some of them, they just put out a post. They don't they talk they put out their post like they're talking to many people. But one of the trends that we are seeing now is that customers are converting more when you make them feel like they're the only ones you're talking to. And this is as simple as using, words like your, instead of just putting everyone or making it seem like, oh, you're talking to a lot of people, right? Another thing we are also saying is that it's called omni-channel branding. Customers want to interact with you across all platforms and feel like they're still interacting with your business. And what that means is that your messaging has to be consistent across Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you are on. We have to be able to feel that, it's the same brand, and not that they get on Instagram and what they see on Facebook, there's a disconnect between the both. Right. Another thing we're also seeing as trends is, a robust customer journey. People don't just want to come to you on your website and that's all they see about you. They want to be able to go to your website, see something about you, not just your business, like having a blog on your website that tells them more, gives them more information. We're seeing that customer journeys determine the level of conversion of a customer because yes, there are three different stages, which is awareness, consideration, and purchase. So travel businesses must begin to position for those three stages to actually convert their customers. Another thing that we're seeing is also AR and VR, augmented reality and virtual reality, just providing people immersive experiences. And every time I think about this trend, I feel like the pandemic gave birth to this trend, but we are seeing that after the pandemic, people still want to experience your location sometimes, even without going there. So, how do you make sure that you create stimulating experiences for them? Another thing we've also realized is that people don't actually mind paying an extra for that. So with the trend, I said some that would most likely explode in a couple of years is what we call hyperlocal marketing, right? In travel. So sometimes we can have a business somewhere in California and then it targets every area in California. But we are seeing that conversions are increasing when people just target areas that are like a street or two streets away from their main business locations. Another thing is also community. Communities are growing, is exploding in the travel industry. You see someone just have 50 followers and they're doing amazing things with those 50 followers, which also goes again to buttress the point that numbers are important, right? But for certain things or your goal, numbers pretty much don't matter if they're not giving you what you want. So that's another thing we're seeing. And we're also seeing a rise in partnerships.
Right, right, Esther. Now, one of the issue in the industry is that a lot of people face problems in this travel, especially if it's international travel. Then it can be a havoc for many people. Either from a travel agency point of view, they promise something and that is not getting fulfilled in several cases. So people have to record to online, complain and all these things. Even on different places, Airbnb or any of the places where people book, people have their own complaints, and by the time they by the time that is addressed, they've already, their vacation is gone. Same, many,
Yeah.
even airline companies or even from the booking companies, people have their own. Yes, but coming to the main people who are the tour operators and the travel agencies, what can they do to allay these fears, apprehensions of people from traveling with them? Rather, and especially for those people from international, who are looking at international travel, because a lot of times they don't want to get into trouble, and they think, because initially not everyone knows big agencies, and not every time they can spend so much of money. So they always
Mm.
want to be sure about it. How can, small tour operators whom are genuine people, how can they do, what can they do to assure such travelers?
Okay, so first things first, thank you for mentioning this because this is a universal problem. I've also seen people who pay for trips get to places, even in Africa or other parts like the Middle East too. They're like, oh, when we got to this location, we called this person and this person was not picking. Their lines were not reachable. So the first thing is I like to think that people should be aware first of all that you're serving people, right? And let's not be selfish. If you've already collected money from them, please be a person of integrity, be honest, and show up. Now, with the part to reassuring the customers, they have to be proactive. Anybody who is feeling like they're going to be scammed, their feelings are valid because these things happen. So they can't even overemphasize the telling them that okay, this is who we are, this is how long we've been in business. Longevity too helps to give people confidence in the work that you do. Another thing is testimonials, testimonials, testimonials. People need to know that, and it's not just sometimes instead of doing consistent text testimonials, let one of your customers talk to them, say let them be able to do a video for you, put that video out because people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And so it's a journey. First of all, you have to build awareness, be in their face, make them know you. And this is all the steps there. Reviews are very important, videos are very important, and communication too is very important because you have to constantly assure people that this is it, this is it. And it's not, don't talk to people, they should not talk to people once and ghost, right? So even if the person has not committed payment wise, when they talk and ghost, it's hard for me to say, okay, this person just talks to me once in 2 weeks. I can't trust them because if I pay the next time, they're probably going to reach out to me again is in the next 2 weeks. So they should keep putting out testimonials, keep putting out content, right? Because people have to first of all believe that you're an expert and you can be you're worthy of their trust before they can pay you. Because sometimes we have tours that run as high as 5,000, sometimes 20,000, like $20,000. So that takes a different level of trust. And also be on platforms like TripAdvisor. If they're saying good things about you on platforms like TripAdvisor, people will trust you. It's not just because of you, it's because of the trust that they have in TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor is tested. And sometimes you also can avoid some negative, reviews, but make sure that you address it on the spot in the most polite way possible. So with doing that, they can win the trust of people.
Right, right, Esther. There is much to learn from you about all these things, and people can certainly learn more about from your weekly newsletter, Rome Revolution. I like this name. Tell us a bit about
Thank
this
you.
newsletter, that you do so that people can learn from more from that?
Thank you so much. So, Rome Revolution is the idea behind Rome Revolution is that travel is changing. It's not what it used to be in the past, and so we give you marketing strategies that are also changing with time. It is time tested. So this time we're not being greedy. We're not saying we want to sell. We want to sell. We want to really help people, right? So that's the idea behind Rome Revolution. Travel is changing. Marketing is changing. I'm bringing the change to your email, to your inbox. So every week I just share marketing advice, marketing tips with travel agents and tour operators.
Right, right, Esther. And tell us a bit about this thing that you are associated with, guest chat. What is this guest chat? Is it? I looked at it on online in the last few minutes, and I found that it's all about some bot. But I don't know if it's the same bot that we are talking about. So I thought I will ask and understand from you so that people can benefit from it.
Okay, thank you so much. So Guest Chat is a chat solution company, and so what we do is that we build chatbots for the hospitality industry. Now that we have tested the hospitality industry and seen that it works, we're trying to move into other industries. But with Guest Chat, we also integrate Chat GPT. So when somebody lands on the website, they can in the chat see the kind of food you have. They can see your hotel. They can see reviews. They can click their calendar dates, your hotel availability and all of that, and book directly in the chat. So there's so many things to it. Think of it as chatbot but integrated, a more better one than what we already have.
Wonderful. There's, as I said, there is so much to learn from you about these things, Esther. And I'm sure a lot of people would like to connect with you and also get your services. So, what is the best way for them to connect with you?
Yeah, my social media, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, it's Esther Akinsola. On either of those platforms, you find a way to send me a mail because my email address is there.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.